What's up, guys? Today we'll be doing our first rebuild on the channel. We're here with Griffin Murphy, the new head coach after Bill Belichick retired, and he'll be taking over a very battered and just it's not a good team. I'm just gonna break it down to you. The Patriots have one of the worst. Not the worst roster, but they have a very weird roster, and we're gonna look into that right now. Our goal is this first season, we're going to tank. We're going to get some good players in the draft, and we're going to build a championship team from there. But starting out, we have Cam Newton here at quarterback. He's just going to be our bridge for the year. Jared Stidham is not the guy. Brian Hoyer obviously is not the guy. We have a bunch of running backs here on the roster. No one that's amazing, but definitely some guys we're going to move. Like Burkhead's not going to be here. Probably get rid of James White and roll with Sony Michel and Damian Harris. A couple fullbacks here. Receiver, Julian Edelman is not what he used to be. He has a huge cap hit. Let's look at this contract real quick. But his production has just been low. He's got injury issues. Still got him for 2 more years. Not a lot of money, but that's money we can use somewhere else. And then just a bunch of receivers that aren't anything special. Tight end, a bunch of young guys that haven't really done much. O-line wise, it's actually an okay O-line, and it's not too old. Our worst one is at right tackle, Marcus Cannon, but honestly, it's a pretty solid O-line to work with in the game. Defensive line, Chase Winovich is starting to become a pretty good player. Then a bunch of just average guys at the other places. Linebacker, nothing too crazy outside of Dante Hightower. So that's going to be an area we're going to have to look to. And then defensive back is where it's at. Stephon Gilmore, amazing player. J.C. Jackson's having a career year in real life. Then you got Jonathan Jones. Jason McCourty's an okay veteran. And some other guys here. And then at safety, you have Devin McCourty, longtime New England Patriot. But he is on the older side. You have Adrian Phillips there backing him up. And then you have Patrick Chung. Again, a pretty good safety, but he's also getting on the older side. You also have Kyle Duggar here at safety as a young piece to work around. Got Nick Folk at kicker, Jake Bailey at punter. Draft picks, we have our 7, plus we have Dallas's 6. We're going to need a lot more draft picks to improve this roster. So I'm going to let you guys go here real quick. I'm going to ship out a bunch of players and not improve this roster, but get us in a good position for next offseason. Alright guys, in our first move, we did James White straight up for Antonio Gibson. I'm actually kind of surprised they went for this trade, but they accepted it. The reason why this trade is good is because of the contract and the age. James White was getting older, and he was going to be a free agent this year. And Antonio Gibson's a young player, and we have him under contract for 4 years on a rookie running back deal, which is a really good value. So overall, this will help with their cap situation and talent. Antonio Gibson basically does everything James White does. He's just 3 overall lower. So I think he can definitely progress throughout this season and will be a good complementary piece for this team. Alright guys, we have made our second trade. We are trading Marquise Lee and Bird to the New York Jets for a 3rd round pick. Now obviously in-division trades are not the most preferred method of trading. However, we know the Jets have a bad roster, and both of these receivers are going to be free agents after the year, and I definitely do not plan to have them in our future. So getting a 3rd round pick for 2 guys that aren't going to be big difference makers for the Jets, I feel like it's going to be a good overall transaction, and it's going to be for their 3rd round pick as well. So this should hopefully be a high pick and work out well for us. Alright guys, we made our next big trade. This one's going to seem kind of crazy, but it's going to have some big implications for us moving forward as we try to get younger. So I moved off of Marcus Cannon. He had 2 years on his contract at about $9 million this year and $7 million next year. At a 76 overall and for his age, he was definitely going to regress hardcore, and I just did not see him in our future. As well as I wanted a spot for our rookie left guard to play. So I'm going to move the O-line a little bit, and I also got rid of Dante Hightower, who is going to be a free agent at 30 years old. He's not going to regress too bad, but within the next year, he's going to be down to an 80, and I just don't want to sign him to a big deal. So in return, we traded him to the Bengals. We got their first round pick this year as well as their 7th round pick next year. Try to get as much value out of this deal as possible. This gives us now our 2nd first round pick, and hopefully it'll be a high pick. Now I'm giving them good players that could help them, as they had a really big need at right tackle, and this Dante Hightower will definitely help out their defense. However, I believe that this will still probably be a top 10 pick, as their division is very good. So I'll check in with you on the next trade. Alright guys, I made a big trade. This is going to definitely help our youth movement. Trade away John Simon, Lawrence Guy, and Adrian Phillips, 3 aging veterans, all on contract years. And I got Isaiah Simmons from the Cardinals. Now this definitely would not be a realistic trade. However, they went for it. This drastically improves their defensive line as well as their back safety depth. And this lets us get a young safety to build around. Right now we have Patrick Chung and Devin McCourty as of this trade. However, this definitely gives me an opportunity to get rid of Patrick Chung and let Isaiah Simmons be our safety of the future, as well as just a good hybrid player that works in the classic New England system. The negative side of this trade is our D-line has very little talent. Right now, Chase Winovich is by far our best defensive lineman. So we're going to definitely have to look at that as one of our top needs going into the draft. But yeah, this gives us a great player to work with, and I'll check in with you on the next trade. Alright guys, I got another trade here. This is for some low-level talent, but I got rid of Copeland, who was projected to be our starting left outside linebacker, so that Anthony Jennings can start for us. And also got rid of Bo Allen. He was on a 2-year contract. He's too old for my liking. I don't see him getting any better at this point, and $3 million a year, I'd rather just get a younger guy. So we traded them both to the Texans for their 3rd round pick this year. This is a good move for us, bad move for the Texans. Texans now don't have a pick until the 4th round unless they make some moves. And this gets us another 3rd round pick to help with, as well as letting some younger guys play on our team to help them progress. And I'll check in with you on the next trade. Alright guys, we got our next trade. We traded away Jason McCourty and a 3rd round pick this year for the Atlanta Falcons 1st round pick. Jason McCourty, again, an aging veteran who I'm not going to re-sign because he's going to regress too much. He didn't have a future on this team. And now, with getting another 1st round pick by giving up a 3rd round pick, after we've already traded for 2 3rd round picks, it's great value. We are now at 3 1st round picks, which will give us a lot of draft capital in the upcoming draft to move around with if we think there's a guy that's way at the top we want, or people fall to us. So before we go to free agency, we're actually going to do a little recap of our draft picks. We have Cincinnati's pick, Atlanta's pick, and our pick. These all have the potential to be top 10 picks. Cincinnati and Atlanta, they could actually have decent seasons, but they could also have bad seasons, so we'll see. And then we also have Carolina's 2nd, our 2nd, and then we have the Jets and Houston's 3rd round pick. We had to get rid of our 3rd round pick in one of our trades. We have a 4th round pick, we have both of our 6th round picks, and a 7th round pick. And then going into next year, I have an extra 7th round pick. So this definitely gives us a lot of draft capital to improve this roster. All right, so now we're going into free agency. We do not want any of these older players. While Colin Kaepernick would actually probably be better than Cam Newton in the game, or Earl Thomas would be a pretty solid starter at strong safety, we definitely want to go younger so that we can have a good team moving forward. DeAndre Baker, I think we're going to get him just because we like a good redemption story, right? And he'll probably never even see the field anyways. Kicker, I am going to pick up Justin Rohrwasser. Let's look at his ratings. 93 kick power, 70 accuracy. So he's pretty decent. We can get rid of Nick Folk, have a young kicker. If he does good, stay with the team. If not, who cares? DeAndre Walker. We do need another outside linebacker, so I will sign him. So we're going to go over to wide receiver. We're going to, we'll sign Trey Quinn. Maybe he can make an impact for us. Miles Brown. Let's look at his attributes. 88 strength, which is okay. Not a good pass rusher, but he'll make the team this year. He might be he fits the New England mold. Well, I lied for the first time on the channel. We had one more trade here. Looking over our roster, we had way too many running backs, so I traded Burkhead to the Tennessee Titans for a 4th-round pick. It's good value. Not going to use Burkhead. It's not in our future plans. And we get another 4th-round pick to help rebuild our roster. Alright, we are now at my second lie of the channel. We are trading a 6th-round pick to the Baltimore Ravens for Makari, who's a good center, 68 overall, young player. He's going to be a good depth O-lineman, just in case there's injuries, because of course you need a good depth. Figured this was a pretty good value pick, because usually in the 6th round, 68 overall O-lineman, kind of rare, usually in the 65-ish range. So I think this is going to be a solid trade for us moving forward. Alright guys, we are at week 4 of the preseason. I've simulated the first 3 games. We went 1-2, so we're going to go through the stats together and see how this team has played. In 3 games, Cam Newton's looked pretty good. 64 completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, only sacked 1 time. Jarrett Stidham hasn't really done much, and then I signed Tyree Jackson to be our 3rd quarterback just because he's basically just 2 inches taller than Cam Newton, so he's basically the same player, right? That's how it works. Let's see what our running game is doing. Antonio Gibson, not the best. Sonny Michel, not the best. Cam Newton's doing okay. So no big numbers there. Let's see who's sticking out receiving. Trey Quinn's having a pretty good preseason, 11 catches. Damon Harris doing his thing. N'Keal Harry, he's actually catching balls, which is kind of crazy. Jacoby Myers, Gunner. Still got Julian Edelman on the roster. He is going to be put in the trade block. Just kind of feel out offers. Let's kind of see what happens. See how the O-line is doing. Looks like our backup right tackle gave up a sack, backup left tackle, and our starting left tackle. Defense. And then a big move I made. I moved Isaiah Simmons to middle linebacker. So my reason for this is he's the perfect mold of the feature linebacker where they're able to cover every single position on the field. So as a safety, he had the speed to cover wide receivers, but now he also has the size to cover linebackers and running backs. So he's going to have very big potential. He is only a 74 overall, but he does have hidden development, so that will help progress him in the future. Get up that field general archetype. As you can see, huge speed, okay tackling, okay play recognition and awareness. It's just his block shredding's not good, his like blitzing skills. But honestly, he's not going to need a blitz. He's going to be able to cover guys, and that's going to be a huge plus for our defense moving forward. Let's look at interceptions. Bunch of picks. I also moved DeAndre Baker to safety because we had a bunch of corners. And sacks, Chase Winovich is balling out. And yeah, kicker, 5 of 6. Hit a 56-yarder. Very good. So it looks like we're doing pretty good. We do have to cut 6 players, I believe. Yep, 6. So let's go to our roster. Start cutting some guys. O'Shawn on the practice squad. We're going to cut Glasgow. Oh, so that's our 2nd player of 6. So we're going to cut you. So that's 3. We cut you, so that's 4. Prince. Yeah, we're going to move you to left guard. Save that. I also believe we need a right guard as well, right? Yep, right guard. Oh, move you. Yeah, let's move you. I like to have good agile O-linemen, so this is going to be a little different system for me as we do run a power scheme, but having that quickness inside is also, it's very helpful. Alright, so we are going to cut you. We do not mess with 50 overall linemen. I think that's 5. Bunch of tight ends. I signed Akeem Butler because he could play wide receiver. I'm just going to put him on the practice squad for right now. We'll just kind of see what's going on. We're going to simulate this game. and then we will upgrade our players and move on into the regular season. So for our season goal, definitely going for 4 games because I'm trying to tank. At least tank a little bit. We still got some good players. We do have some trade offers for Julian Edelman, so let's just see what those are. And it's the Minnesota Vikings. They're willing to give us a 4th round pick this year and a 7th round pick next year. That does help us get another mid-round pick to help us move up. I'm going to hold out. I will let you guys know if we get any better offers. But let's do the weekly training. I'll show you the rookies we're going to be focusing on. Michael Onwenu, he's definitely the O-lineman of the future for this team. Kyle Duggar, good safety. He's a little bit on the older side at 24, but he is our starting safety moving forward. And then Isaiah Simmons, like I said, middle linebacker. So those are our focus players. We're going to simulate our training, upgrade our players, and then I will see you guys at the midpoint of the season just to see what trade offers we get for certain players and stuff. So upgrade players. Jordan Thomas has an upgrade. Get his blocking up because we are a run the football team now. Chad Thomas, who's going to be our backup, one of our backup D linemen. Good young player. Let's see, you guys block shredding up. That's very good. Jared Stidham definitely does not have a future here, but got to keep somebody on the team to back up Cam Newton. Hey, you got good throw accuracy. What is his throw accuracy at right now? He has okay accuracy, okay throw power, nothing crazy, but if we're running the quarterback around, he's not really a fit. Chase Winovich, get his power rushing up. He's at an 80 overall for a D lineman, young D lineman for us, so that's really big. Agility and power moves. Star rating, very good stats. Doesn't have the best strength, but overall he's a very solid player. N'Keal Harry. Definitely need to get his catching up. But we're going to go, I think, route runner. Yeah, his route running is not good. And we need him to be able to get open. So we're going to do route running. Gets him up 1. And he got awareness and short route. Perfectly fine. Let's see what Isaiah Simmons. We're going to do the field general. Goes up 2. That's going to be big for us. He's getting tackle and zone coverage. Again, he's going to be able to cover tight ends, running backs, everything very well. Juwan Bentley is going to be his running mate. We're going to get his field general up as well. He goes up pretty good and he gets a bunch of good stuff. Let's do Adam Butler, run stopper, because he needs to be the big boy in the middle. Trey Quinn, he's going to be a solid little receiver for us. Give him slot archetype because he fits the classic New England mold of a little white guy in the slot. DeAndre Baker, moving from corner to free safety. Get his hybrid up. Man coverage, play rec zone. And plus, those are things that will help him if I ever move him back to corner. Does not have good zone coverage. Okay, man. Not the best tackling skills, but he's going to be able to cover okay. Miles Brown, young D lineman for us. We get the run stopper archetype. Again, we need a big guy in the middle to help our linebackers get in there. And then Sony Michel, he's going to be our power back for our team. I'm going to start Antonio Gibson over him just because he's a rookie. He's going to develop a little better. But Sony Michel definitely has a future as a power back for our team. So, guys, I will meet you back if there's a Julian Edelman trade or at Week 8. Alright, guys, I said I was going to stop at Week 8 probably, or if there's some better trade news, and wow, do I got a surprise for you. We are actually 4-0 right now. Yes, after trading some good players away and trying to get draft picks and getting younger, we are 4-0. So we're going to go through the schedule so you guys can see this. It is kind of crazy. We beat the Dolphins 35-10, Seahawks 31-14, Raiders 17-7, and the Chiefs, who are also 3-0 at the time when we played them, 45-31. So let's look at the scoring summary. Wow, New England had a big fourth quarter comeback, down 21-20 at halftime. Oh, they were about even. Never mind, because that's yeah, it's 28-28 going into the fourth quarter, and we came out on top. 602 total yards gained. Looks like we had a bunch of kick return yards. I wonder if he had a kick return touchdown. Cam Newton, big game. Jarrett Stidham threw a touchdown. Mahomes had a pretty good game, so it wasn't really his fault. But Cam Newton, looks like it's a mistake not getting rid of him because he is carrying our team to a 4-0 record. Sonny Michel didn't do much. Gibson didn't do much. Kind of everyone got the ball there. Receiving, Julian Edelman had a big game. Jacoby Myers had a huge game. And Jordan Thomas and Dalton Keene both got a touchdown. The right side of the line there. Isaiah Simmons had another pretty good game, tackling the ball. Josh Uche got another sack. Stephon Gilmore with another pick. Let's see if someone got a kick return touchdown. No, he's got a bunch of yards. Just a bunch of yards. So this is going to complicate it because we might be able to compete for a playoff spot, maybe even go all the way with this team. So I'm going to hold back on trading Edelman. We're going to wait till that Week 8 game against the Buffalo Bills, but I'm going to show you our injury report right now. So Dalton Keene, fractured kneecap. He is out for the year. We're going to place him on IR. But we're also going to look at his season stats just to see what he did as a rookie. It looked like he was doing pretty good in those games. 17 catches, 177 yards, 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, he might have a future, but this is going to really hinder his ability moving forward. So, we'll see. We're getting DeAndre Walker back next week. So, I will check in with you at Week 8. I'm going to hold off on trading Julian Edelman to see where this team goes. Alright guys, we have breaking news. We just lost to the Denver Broncos at Week 5, and Cam Newton has a partial PCL tear. Again, like I said, we lost to the Denver Broncos 21-13. Cam Newton's going to be out for the foreseeable future. We are in our bye week. I am going to stick with Jarrett Stidham as our quarterback, and I am going to immediately trade Julian Edelman. So let's back out of our injuries and see what our options are. So the Vikings are willing to give us a 4th and a 6th next year. Titans will give us a 3rd and a 7th next year. And the Packers will give us a 3rd and a 7th next year and a 7th this year. So obviously I have the chance of getting a 3rd round pick from 2 teams, but those will be next year. Or I could get a 4th this year and a 6th next year. I think I'm going to go with the Vikings offer here just because we're going to get a pick this year. Obviously, the Packers... Oh, and Denver gave us a 4th next year, so we don't care about them. I think we're going to go with the Vikings here. This will give us another pick this year to help us move up, potentially. Because we also did trade away our 5th round pick, so I think we're going to go with this offer here. We are going to go into free agency now because we do need another player. We can look at our quarterback options potentially. Deshaun Jackson is out there, but now we're kind of in tanking mode, so I don't really want to get a good player here. Just got to fill out the roster. Oh, we could get Taysom Hill. He would fit exactly what Cam Newton's doing. We might just do that. Screw it. Get Taysom Hill in here. Star development. Throw power is only 84. These accuracies are all fine. You could probably even put them as less. But we are going to sign Taysom Hill. This will be kind of a do-it-all player for us. Let's look at Cam Newton's stats for the year. He was having a fantastic year. 11 touchdowns, 3 picks, 1,100, almost 1,200 yards, 69% completion percentage. Looks like in the Denver game he struggled. That's why we only scored 13 points. But yeah, we're going to start Taysom Hill, and I will meet you guys now at Week 8 to see if any other moves are made and what our record is. Alright guys, welcome to Week 8. As you can see in your top left of the corner, the New England Patriots beat the San Francisco 49ers 21-0 in Taysom Hill's first start. He threw 2 touchdowns in that game, had a pretty solid game. Defense just played good. 49ers just didn't do anything. But yeah, we are currently 5-1. After 6 games in our bye week, we are playing the Buffalo Bills. I put Devin McCourty up for trade potentially just because I thought we'd be tanking more. But after that win, I don't know. So we're just going to look at the offers, just kind of see what they have. Looks like a second and a seventh. Second and a seventh. Receiver, don't care. Don't care. Get a third this year and a seventh next year. Same with the Jets, but I'd rather trade them to the Lions, obviously. Wide receiver. Now, this one's kind of interesting. We get a third this year and then a fifth and seventh next year. So that's already better than both of those offers. We're not trading to the Dolphins. The Dallas Cowboys are willing to give us a second and a fifth for Devin McCourty. And then a bunch of other ones getting third-round picks and stuff. That Cowboys offer is pretty interesting. If we trade him to the Cowboys, where's our draft picks? It wouldn't help us this upcoming draft. But for next year, it would give us another second-round pick. So we have 3 in the first 2 rounds. And we'd have 3 seventh-round picks, which is where I like to take chances on players. So we could either fight for the playoffs, which it looks like we're doing, or this could help potentially lower our pick and get some more picks for the longer distance future. Now, this is supposed to be a rebuild, so I think I am going to go up on that trade. So, Devin McCourty, thank you for your services, but you are going to become a Dallas Cowboy. I'd rather trade him... Yeah, I'd rather trade him to the Cowboys, I think. Because we get a fifth. Oh, I lied. I thought it was a seventh. It's a fifth, so that's even better. So we are going to go with this trade. So now, as of right now, we need to get another safety because we don't have any on the roster. We're going to get Nicholson here. Good zone safety. We're going to make sure that DeAndre Baker is our starting safety. But, yeah, this team is already a lot younger than what we started, even in week 1, getting rid of Edelman as well. So we're going to go to our free safety spot. Put DeAndre Baker as our starter, which he is. I will also bring you in on my scouting endeavors so far. As you can see, it doesn't look like as of right now we're going to have as high as picks as we hoped. Those other 2 first-round picks are at 11 and 19. But so far what I've focused on is wide receiver, which there's 2 clear-cut guys, a couple guys in the middle, and then there's some pretty good talent here. Arthur Dumaine has good catching and good short route running. He'd be a good slot receiver, obviously. This guy looks like he'd be a beast. Jeremy DuBose as like a big play receiver. That spec catching and catching traffic. Even if he's not fast, he's going to be able to catch some crazy balls. Elijah Colvin is also interesting. 6'5", 233. Depending on his speed, he could be a really intriguing guy, especially with that release. He's going to be able to catch some things downfield. And then also Jermaine Bacon looks like another solid player with good catching. I've also scouted D-line. Bunch of good D-tackles. These are all going to be very good talents. Looks like it's a very deep draft. And then also even D-linemen, some good players up front. So if you go to the big board overall, a lot of quarterbacks, but even if we're in this mid-range right here, we'll be able to get some good players. But yeah, I'm gonna simulate to week 12 and just kind of see where we're at, and that's where I will catch you next time. Alright guys, we are now at week 12. I'm going to be showing you how we've done so far. So we started out 5-1, and as you can see, we did not do very well in our next 4 games. We lost 16-21 against the Bills in Taysom Hill's second start. He did not do good. Touchdown, 2 picks, got sacked 4 times. The running game hasn't been doing too much this year. Don't know why that's happening, but Akeem Butler, had to sign him because my tight ends are getting hurt, and he's been going off for me because he's basically a wide receiver. And then we just lost to the Houston Texans 21-24. Looks like it was a pretty close game. But, yeah, Taysom Hill didn't even throw a touchdown. Jared Stidham had to come in and throw one. So, definitely this team is missing Cam Newton. kind of want to throw Jarrett Stidham in there, but I think we're going to keep Taysom Hill in there for now because, again, we want to get good picks. N'Keal Harry had a great game. Blocking. O-line's been struggling with Taysom Hill in the game. Don't know if it's just because of him or what. Defense didn't do anything. Oh, our rookie kicker. Lost by 3. Had a missed field goal. That's how things happen. Alright, so we have 6 games left in the season. We're going to look at our free agents and see who's going to be free agent this year. J.C. Jackson looks like it's up for a new contract. Definitely want to get him under contract. He's only 24 years old. 5-year, 56. Getting $11 million a year. As you see, a lot of cap room. So, great to get him under contract. Joe Thuney wants a 3-year deal. He's a pretty good O-lineman. I don't know if I want to sign him to that. Same with David Andrews. He'll be 30 by the time the deal's done. $9 million a year. Cam Newton, we're going to let him test free agency. We might bring him back. I don't know yet, to be honest. But we're letting him test. Dietrich Wise, he's had a pretty good year, but I don't know if I want him to sign that contract. I know I have a lot of cap space, but I want to have the cap flexibility to do stuff. Dietrich Wise, don't know about him. Definitely let Adam Butler walk away. Hasn't done much. Same with Terrence Brooks. And the rest of these guys don't look too important for me, so probably bring back DeAndre Baker just because he's so young. Maybe Taysom Hill. But yeah, a lot of young guys here, so not too important. But yeah, I'm going to see you guys at Week 16 against the Bills. We're just going to see where we're at, look at the scouting a little more, and I'll see you next time. Alright guys, we are in Week 16. So, Taysom Hill started Week 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He did not do good. He went 2 and 4 as a starter. He really brought us back in the playoff picture. However, Cam Newton came back Week 13, and boy, did he bring on a show. Beating the Chargers 30-47, losing to the Rams on Thursday Night Football 39-40. Man, that would have been a great game to watch. And now he just beat the Dolphins 28-23, putting us in the driver's seat of the AFC East. Tua had a great game, 3 touchdowns, but Cam Newton had a better game with 384 yards passing, basically doubling Tua's yardage, as well as having 2 touchdowns, being pretty accurate, 74%. Let's go to just the Patriots stats. Running the ball, Starting Michelle had 2 touchdowns, along with some okay yardage from the other backs. Jordan Thomas had a great game. N'Keal Harry had a good game. Jacoby Myers. Trey Quinn had a touchdown. Hakeem Butler had a touchdown. Overall, looks like the offense had a great day sharing the ball. And defensively, 1 sack from Dietrich Wise. No interceptions, as we saw. And yeah, so we are currently at 8-6. However, this it's very close right now. So if we lose to the Buffalo Bills, we do not have any tiebreakers. We will have the same record, and they will have swept us, which would mean then that they would need to lose Week 17, and we would need to win. If we beat them right now, we will win the division. So that's where we're at. If we look at the playoff picture, we are currently the 4 seed. So it's looking pretty good for us. Let's look at the overall standings just to see what we would be if we get into a wild card spot. The best team right now is the Browns and the Bears, along with the Chiefs and the Falcons. So obviously we have the Falcons first round pick, and it looks like they're having a pretty good season at 10-4. Let's go to the AFC. So it looks like one of those playoff spots will probably be from the Steelers. And one of those spots will be from the Colts. And then we would be fighting with the Ravens, the Bills potentially on who wins the division, and the Broncos. And I believe if we go to the schedule, we've played both of those teams, so we can see where the tiebreakers are at. We lost to the Broncos, and we lost to the Ravens, so they both have the tiebreaker over us. So these next two games are very pivotal in our playoff future. Let's go to our scouting and see where we are at. We're currently projected to have the 5th overall pick, which that's probably from Cincinnati, the 19th, and the 28th. So I'm starting to scout a bunch of different players. Quarterback potentially Juan Norman out of Colorado. Throw power A+, throw on the run, and throw accuracy short. He'd be a great Cam Newton replacement potentially. Or we can go the more traditional route, getting Paul Rivers out of Ole Miss. A+ throw power, but only a B+ in throw under pressure and throw accuracy mid. Some other solid players. He might be a good later in the first round, Jacob Whittington. We got Matt Wallace as a power rusher, A power moves, A- hit power, B+ tackle. We've already went through the receivers. There's a couple okay running backs. We have Luke Randall as a run stopper. He might be good. Now this is an interesting guy, Nick Stokes. A pursuit, A hit power, A- tackle. Now if we get Nick Stokes, I can move Isaiah Simmons to free safety or strong safety, which would be our Devin McCourty replacement. So we definitely have some flexibility in the draft with drafting a middle linebacker. Some okay tight ends. But yeah, overall the draft is looking okay. Definitely going to do some more scouting here in a little bit. And we're also going to go to our free agents. I have decided we are going to re-sign these 2 O-linemen just because there isn't too many elite prospects. And so just securing these guys for a relatively okay price with so much cap room, I think is in our best favor. So we are getting back Joe Thuney at right tackle. And David Andrews, we're going to re-sign. Alright, he wants some more money. We might work on it, or we might let him test and see if there's anybody else out there. But I think getting Joe Thuney is the right move for right now. Dietrich-Wise, $7 million a year is not too bad, and he's still pretty young. And if anything, he could be a good backup rotational piece. So he wants a little more money. I'll work on that. But yeah, overall, a lot of these guys we'll probably let test. I want to bring back DeAndre Baker. Gotta wait another week. So yeah, I will see you at week 18 with the playoffs and what goes down. Alright guys, we are in week 18, and boy, is Cam Newton making a push to be our permanent starter. After taking over in week 13, after coming back from his injury, he went 4-1 as a starter and almost went 5-0. He beat the Buffalo Bills on Monday night 36-28, and he beat the Jets 38-31, which it didn't look that close until the 4th quarter. Let's go in and see. Cam Newton 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, with a 71% completion percentage. Man, did he have a great year. Tony Gibson, not much yards. Tony Michel with the touchdown. N'Keal Harry caught a touchdown. You'll see why that's relevant here in a little bit. But looks like a great game. These New England Patriots, we doubted them, but they definitely came. They came to play. Griffin Murphy, great coach this year. So Cam Newton went 4-1, and then 4-1. So he went 8-2 as a starter, which is pretty crazy. He's definitely a huge reason why we're in the playoffs, facing off against the Colts. First, we're going to look at our season stats to see how we did. Cam Newton, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, sacked 14 times. Taysom Hill, 10 touchdowns, 7 picks. And Jared Stidham had 3 touchdowns, 8 for 12, pretty solid. Cam Newton also had a 70% completion percentage, was very accurate. Let's go to the run game. Antonio Gibson, 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. Sony Michel, 600 yards, 10 touchdowns. And Cam Newton had 90 yards and a touchdown. Harris had 80 yards and a touchdown. Taysom Hill had about 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. J.J. Taylor squeaked in for a touchdown at one point. And there we go. N'Keal Harry caught his one and only touchdown in Week 17 against the Jets. Also had a 1,000-yard campaign. So he had a pretty good bounce back year. Of course, as a rookie, we all know he didn't really do much. So yeah, this is pretty big for him. Jacoby Myers had 12 touchdowns for this team. So we have a pretty good young core right there. Jordan Thomas had an okay year. Trey Quinn, Hakeem Butler, Antonio Gibson, a bunch of different guys. They really spread out the ball in this offense. Now let's look at our O-line. Isaiah Wynn led up 7 sacks. Shaq Mason with 6. Joe Thuney, David Andrews. You know, it was a solid 5. They didn't get hurt. Look, they all played their all snaps. So that's a really good sign when, you know, your starting crew can play all the games. Going on to defense, Isaiah Simmons, 100 tackles, 8 for loss, 3 sacks, and a pick. Looks like he settled in at middle linebacker pretty well. Leading the teams in sacks is Dietrich Weiss. So clearly our number one offseason need, besides potentially quarterback, would be pass rush. We just couldn't really get it from anyone consistently. There would be flashes, a couple games here and there, but we did not sack the quarterback. However, what we did do is intercept the quarterback because Stephon Gilmore, the best corner in the league, just shut people down. 8 picks, 4 deflections. Kyle Duggar had a great year as well. 3 interceptions for a run-stopping safety. Jonathan Jones, J.C. Jackson had a pick. DeAndre Baker ended up having a pick. Anthony Jennings. So we have some good players to work with here. And our rookie kicker, Justin Rohrwasser, missed 2 kicks. One of them was potentially game-tying. The other one was in a 24-17 loss, so that one didn't really matter. But yeah, we are 10-6 going into the playoffs, which I did not expect going into this. So we are going to go through the playoffs real time. But here we go. Patriots-Colts, the classic rivalry without the classic quarterbacks. Patriots score first, 7-0. Colts respond with a field goal. Patriots up 14-3. Controlling this game so far. 21-3 at half, going into the third quarter. As it's stalling out, but another field goal by the Patriots, 24-3. Colts respond with a touchdown. Patriots respond with a touchdown. Colts respond with another touchdown. And this game is over, 34-24. Wow. Patriots controlled that game from the beginning. Philip Rivers had no interceptions, but he was not very accurate. Cam Newton was 70% completion, 2 touchdowns. They went for a fake punt at one point, it looks like. Running the ball, Gibson, 22 carries, 54 yards, touchdown. Sonny Michel with a touchdown. Their running game didn't do much. Go to receiving. N'Keal Harry. Hey, gotta get your touchdown sometime, right? T.Y. Hilton had a touchdown. Let's go to Patriots defense here. Stephon Gilmore had a good game. Looks like we did get a pass rush. Oh, Chase Winovich might have gotten hurt. Yeah, 4 sacks there. And there we go. Moving on to the next round. Let's see who we play. We're the 3rd seed, so if the 2 seed loses, nope, we are playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Last time Cam Newton played this team, he beat them. Let's go to the playoff picture here real quick. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Denver Broncos. We beat the Colts. And the Titans beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. So it'll be Titans-Browns, Patriots-Chiefs. On the other side, the Bears demolished the Vikings. Seahawks demolished the Cardinals. And then a close game with the Cowboys. Devin McCourty there with the Cowboys. Could we see him? So we have Falcons, who we traded our some players to get their first-round pick, is the number 1 seed. Wow. So we potentially could have the 32nd, 31st picks here, depending on how we do and the Falcons do. We're going to do the same thing in this game with the Chiefs. I'm not going to play the game, obviously. I'll just put it to sim the whole game once I get into it. If we upset the Chiefs, we might be going all the way. Our defense is very solid. At least our defensive backs are. Look at that. 8 picks and a fumble forced this season. But like I said, it's all on Cam Newton. If Cam Newton struggles, we will probably lose. Mahomes, 31 touchdowns, 9 picks. Isaiah Simmons looks like a great get for us. He might have helped bring us all the way. So there we go. Chiefs, Patriots. We're going to jump forward to end of game and see how that goes. Chiefs start out with a 3-0 lead. Patriots respond with a touchdown. Chiefs respond with a field goal. Another field goal by the Patriots. Chiefs with the touchdown. Patriots with the touchdown. Chiefs with the touchdown. Patriots with the touchdown. It's getting down to the wire. Chiefs score. Oh, it's a 6-point game. Oh, the Patriots come back. And can the Patriots lead it? No, they end up losing in the fourth quarter, 38-31. This looked like a fantastic game that was very close. And the Chiefs prevail, 38-31. Cam Newton is disappointed that he could not lead his team farther. Let's look at these stats, because that was back and forth, as you can see in the scoring summary. Wow, Mahomes went off. 464 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cam Newton had a pretty good game. He had the 1 pick. Let's go to rushing. Gibson. Yeah, this was back and forth. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a very big impact on his 5 carries, with 2 of them being touchdowns. Fullback Ryan Enzo had a touchdown. Tyreek Hill. Yeah, Jacoby Myers with a touchdown. He had a great year. Le'Veon Bell had a touchdown. Nick Keiser, Hakeem Butler. These teams are breaking out all the tricks. Let's see. Backup left tackle was in. Gave up a sack. Defensively, we just didn't do anything. No sacks. No interceptions. That's what this team needed. So, our season ends here, unfortunately, but I will see you guys at the Super Bowl. Alright guys, we are at Super Bowl week, and we're here looking at the awards, and you're looking at Defensive Rookie of the Year, Isaiah Simmons. He was very deserving, and Kyle Duggar was right there in 3rd. But the rest of our team didn't do too well. Tim Patrick, best wide receiver. That's kind of interesting. But no other awards. Stephon Gilmore, best defensive back, not surprised. But besides that, interesting note, MVP was Matt Ryan. So clearly he did very well in the year. It's Browns Seahawks in the Super Bowl. We're going to upgrade our players. I'm assuming Isaiah Simmons is getting one. Yes, he did. We're going to give him some more field general. Up to an 81. Block shredding, man coverage, and zone coverage. Superstar. And then we're going to go into scouting and see what our final picks are going to be. We have the 13th, 26th, and 30th pick. So we might be out of range for these quarterbacks. However, as many of you guys probably know, Madden does not know how to draft quarterbacks, with usually only 1 going in the 1st round and the rest going in the 3rd round. So we'll see with that. I'm going to continue to do some more scouting. However, we are going to end this episode here and do a exclusive off-season episode, as well as some preseason roped into that. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. It's been a fun year. We went 10-6 in the regular season, 1-1 in the playoffs. This team has a lot of promise moving forward. So definitely click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. You want to see more episodes, and I will see you guys later.